Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're happy and I hope you're strong. And what else? Hmm? Hmm? Patient? Yes, I hope you're patient. Thanks for joining me in this beautiful day, and it is beautiful today. It could be a little warm later, but right now it's perfect. So I hope you get to enjoy the day. And what should we do? Come on, you know what's next, right? Yes, what's next is some music and dancing and get your maracas. I have mine. Mine are sunflower seeds and almond bits. That's the snack later. Okay, let's get some music going. Good job dancing and singing and maracas. Okay, fabulous. Um, Now let's see what's next. What, a clue? A clue, yes, a clue. Yeah, no clue today. It's going to be really easy to figure out once you see the story. And besides, mm, I have a little bit of video for after the story. I know, we're changing it up today. Don't worry, it'll be fun. So let's get me off, 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 off. And there's our beautiful story time room. And then get that off. And there's our story. And our story today is called This Way Charley. And This Way Charley is written by a couple of people who write other books together in partnership. And it's Karen Levis and Charles Santoso. Yes, Santoso. And This Way Charley is about a goat and a horse. You see them there. And it's inspired by a real life animal friendship. So a real story is behind this story. This Way Charley. And it's published by Abrams Books for young readers in New York. And so This Way Charley. And there you get to see the farm. It's a beautiful farm. And this book was published copyright 2020, so it's brand new and it's this year. Jack watched the new animals scamper, hop, flap, and trot their way into Open Bud Ranch. Some would say a short while, Some would stay a short while and others longer. A few might make the ranch their home like Jack had when he needed a safe and caring place to live. Open Bud Ranch had space for all kinds and all kinds of space to heal, rest, and grow. And there's Jack watching everybody, and Jack is the little goat, and he's kind of hiding behind a bush, and he's just watching all the farm animals. Everyone could see that Jack liked keeping his space to himself. Everyone except Charlie. Charlie's the horse. When Charlie arrived, he didn't see Jack at all. "Hey!" bleeped Jack. "Pardon me," neighed Charlie. Jack could tell from how Charlie swerved this way, but not that way, that Charlie could only see out of one of his eyes. Antonia explained that once in a while, for different reasons, blindness happened. She couldn't mend Charlie's sight like she had the eagle's broken wing, or release him into the wild like the possum once they'd grown. But she could give Charlie time to see in his own new way. Antonia said everybody deserved plenty of food, love, and patience. But now Jack knew this ranch gave plenty of fresh hay. By now Jack knew that this ranch gave plenty of fresh hay, grooming with soft brushes and always trimming hooves slowly. Still, he didn't want anything to get too close or too quick or too loud. So Jack stepped back and watched out for Charlie. Charlie whinnied to everyone in a cheerful way, swishing his tail, and he snorted. "Good morning, Mrs. Cow. Hello, everybody. I can't tell who is there, but hello." And he stopped to sniff the honeysuckles the same way Jack liked to. He chewed thoughtfully and followed the sunlit patches as if he wanted to get to know the whole place. But Charlie couldn't go very far on his own. Sometimes he bumped in an oops way, not a pushy way. A lot of times he stood still in a lost way. There he is in the center, kind of just looking around, kind of lost. Jack noticed Charlie's eye had a soft glow like the moon, which often guided Jack when he felt lost in the dark. He wondered what Charlie used for a moon. Some mornings Charlie pawed at a dry patch of dirt. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Hungry, thought Jack, or scared, maybe lonely. One day Jack took an extra deep breath of honeysuckles, in for sweet, out for brave. "This way, Charlie," he said, and showed him the way to his favorite field. They grazed and bathed in the sunlight. The next day Jack did it again. "This way, Charlie." Jack walked a little ahead and on Charlie's seeing side. He slowed down when the trail got steep, and he stopped when they reached the fresh water. And when it got too hot, he called Charlie toward the shade. "Hey!" Jack called. "Hay is for horses," Charlie called back. Soon the next day became every day. Walk, graze, sunbathe, return. Sometimes a quiet like warm milk filled the space between them. Other times Jack asked Charlie questions about swishing a long tail, about galloping, being so tall, going blind, about bugs and plants and clouds, about the ranch, the world, and sometimes about dreams. "The way I see it," Charlie would answer, and Jack would listen. One cold and wet morning, instead of going to their place, Jack guided Charlie to the barn. Charlie would step in, but Jack always stayed out. He wanted to go where it looked peaceful and dry, but his body remembered a different barn from long ago that wasn't calm or kind. Charlie couldn't make the rain or the past disappear, but he could show Jack how kindness moves, sounds, and waits for skies to clear and new memories to take shape. Charlie could give Jack an inside. Outside, boom, crack. "Do you get scared of things you can't see?" Jack asked Charlie. All the time, Charlie told Jack. "But the way I see it, that's what a friend like you is for." Friend. Jack chewed the word over like a mouthful of fresh, sweet grass. As the days went by, Charlie began walking more and more slowly, and then one day he stopped. He couldn't see out of either of his eyes now. So Jack moved closer to the center of the path. "This way, Charlie." "Yes, this way, Jack." They kept walking, one hoof in front of the other, until it felt like Jack's steps were Charlie's and Charlie's steps were Jack's. Once, when the other goats went galloping by, Charlie said, "We could play with them today." And Jack trembled. "Or maybe with the fawns," Charlie asked. "Or the new raccoon." "I can't." Making new friends gave Jack a bumpy feeling. "Let's just say hello. The way I see it." "No, you don't see. You can't see." Charlie was surprised. So was Jack. He hadn't meant to snap so close, so quick, so loud. A new kind of quiet filled the space between them. It felt like a swallow of dry, rotten grass rumbling around their insides. Maybe that's why they didn't notice the sky was rumbling too. Boom! Crack! Rain came pouring down so fast and thick that Jack couldn't see Charlie. Wind blowed so loud that Charlie couldn't hear Jack. Trees bent, fell, and tangled, trapping Charlie. Jack tried this way and that way, but there was no way and no way out. So Jack ran. Jack ran and ran for Charlie. He bleated to all the animals for Charlie. Jack banged on the door and found Antonia and urged everyone to follow him closely. "This way! Charlie!" The mud was thick and the branches were strong, but the whole ranch working together was stronger. Finally, Charlie was free, and Jack led the way inside. "This way, friend." Everybody huddled together, and Jack whispered, "I'm sorry," and Charlie whispered, "Thank you." The barn filled with all kinds of snores and dreams and a quiet that neither Charlie nor Jack could see, but both could feel was splendid and warm. Like the sun that rose the next morning, they walked that day, the next day, and every day for the rest of their lives, one hoof in front of the other. "This way, Charlie, this way." And this is the author's note. And what it says is that the author took real stories from a real ranch and other stories about horses and goats and made this story. So a lot of it is really true. The end. Okay, and now you're going to see a little video about the Wild Heart Ranch feeding fawns. And this is the ranch that the book is based on. Okay. Putting them all together. She wrapped it and she put it in a white bag. It's fawns. It's all the baby fawns that Charlie wanted to play with. Over there. Feeding. It takes a lot of milk to feed a lot of fawns, doesn't it? And you know what? Every 4 hours she has to do it again because those fawns are growing. Yes. Oh my gosh. So that is our story for today. I hope you liked hearing about Charlie the horse and his friend the goat, and how wonderful and close, and how they cared for each other, and how patient they were, and how Jack slowly came out of his shell. It was a really good story. It was about patience, remember? So I hope you have a wonderful day and you're happy and you're strong and you're patient today. And I will see you next story time. Bye.